Hey guys, getting there slowly. Taking a bit of a breather for the moment. Quick tip: if you're working on both sides of the leaf springs, unbolt it all. Don't be like me and start on one side and do everything, then come on the other side and do everything. Because having the diff loose makes life a lot fucking easier with trying to get your springs in and the fucking bolt back in and, you know, all that shit. You know, that son of a bitch there. And also, if you haven't got a scissor jack laying around, at minimum, you need at least 2 jacks. You should at least have a scissor jack in your car or in the workshop. They're nice and easy, small. Just go to the fucking wreckers and get one, would ya? It makes life easy. But yeah, this side's done. And another tip: if you can get yourself a little vise like that from a swap meet or, you know, whatever, just a little one, it's a lot better than using a fucking G-clamp for this shit. Because it takes a bit more to wind in, but you can put more pressure on it. So yeah, so I've got this side done, same as the other side, same bullshit, same. If you're doing this stuff, don't be a knob and leave your U-bolts hanging out down that low, because, well, they just get smashed off. You know, they get all fucking bent and shit. So when you're done, when you got everything bolted together, what I'm going to do is just hit them bastards with an angle grinder, leave like, you know, 10 mil, half an inch or something. And yeah, now we're going up the driveway. Must think I'm insane talking to myself with the phone out, but I don't care. So yeah, got the diff all jacked up on that side. That side's ready to slap back together. Also, a quick tip with these brackets here. Those ones you can't undo. You can see they're folded over and they've got a rivet in the bottom of them. Those ones, just don't fuck with them. Just leave them how they are. This one here, I'd recommend, if you're doing the same sort of thing I'm doing with the same sort of spring setup, keep your bottom leaf, because I didn't think about this before, but it made sense when I started to put everything together. These are here not to so much stop them expanding out. You can see how much gap there is there. I think from my fabrication experience and, well, common sense, these are to keep the leaf springs from, you know, flaying outwards and, you know, going to shit. So keep them there. It just makes life easy. If you want to go really low and you just use it as a cruiser, you don't really care about doing burnouts or anything or going around the twisties, take that one and that one out and just have the 3 main leaves in there. Though I'm assuming that would slam it. It'd be really low. I don't really want really low. I want just a little bit low, but my shock travel back. And with taking those 3 thick leaves out, because they're about ½ inch thick, you know, I've gained an inch and a half worth of my travel on the shop, because I've brought that lower plate up. So actually no, I've only gained an inch because I put one back in. So with that and lowering it, because I've got a leaf up the top, it wants to flatten the leaves out, where before it had a big curve in it, because that's the way that the leaves were bent, and it had these load supporting leaves, so the leaves wouldn't actually touch it until you loaded the tray up. And when you load the tray up, instead of the leaves being like that, they flatten out more and they, you know, hit the load supporting leaves. But the way I'm doing this is I want the leaves to be flatter, and the reason I put this one on top is to help flatten it out more at a static ride height. I have heard of people what they do is they take their leaf pack apart and they take one of the bigger leaves, say, for talking sakes, say, we'll use these 2 leaves as an example, right? Use that one off. So say that's your main leaf. You got this one bolted to the bottom of it, right? What I have heard of people doing is they disassemble their leaf pack, they got all the leaves spread out, and they take one of the bigger leaves, not as big as your main leaf, lengthwise, maybe like 3/4 or half the length of your main leaf with the eyelets on it, and they get one of the other leaves and actually go like that. So what they do is they flip one leaf upside down, and they have the rest of the leaves, and they squish them all together, and what that will help with most is making a flat leaf pack. See, I'm doing the same sort of thing, but because I've got 2 different bend styles of leaves, I'm not going as aggressive. So say if I put that one on upside down to try and flatten it out, when it sat there without the bolt or any pressure on it, it'll actually go up, and it'll go like that. Where now, it only went, you know, I only had a small curve like that, where the main leaves had a much larger curve. So even still, that's squished it together, made it nice and rigid. I put the one on the bottom to do the same. So theoretically, it should be fairly stiff still, but it should be a bit lower. And yeah, because the leaves, these thick leaves, really, all they're there for is like load helping. So yeah, really, I don't think I'm going to be dropping it that much. You know, I've got 1/2 inch because I've got this sitting on top of the main leaves. So I've got 1/2 inch drop there. Then we're taking those extra leaves out. I've gained 1 inch in shock travel, and it should, in theory, it should bring it down a bit, but I'm not expecting a massive, you know, I'm not expecting the tyres to be fucking touching the bottom of the tray. I'm not an expert in this shit. I don't claim to be. I'm just, you know, using common sense. You know, I had a quick look on the net, had to talk to a few suspension guys. Like I went to one mob to get these new U-bolts. I don't like the fact of using old ones because, you know, fuck knows how long they've been on there, and when you tighten them up they stretch. That's what they're made to do. If you're fucking with them, if you're doing anything to, if you remove your leaf, your U-bolts, sorry, remove your U-bolts, replace the bastard. The last thing you want to do is go down the road, hit something and break your U-bolts, and next minute your fucking diffs flying out all over the place. So get yourself some new ones. These are Nolfane ones. I didn't even know Nolfane made U-bolts. These are just a universal one. 30 bucks a pair, so 60 bucks a set, because you need 2 per side, so you need 4. 60 bucks. You can't go fucking wrong with that. But I was talking to the suspension guy, and he said to remove the 3 load helping springs and see how that is. And I said, well, I was thinking about putting, you know, one on the top and all the rest of it. He said, nah, don't worry about that. If it's not low enough for you, bring the springs to us and we'll reset the springs for $200. And I thought, well, you know, fuck it. I'm going to try to put one underneath because I still want it to be stiff. I don't want it to be flopping all over the place because, you know, how many times they've been re-bent and shit. You know, you're looking at about $600-800 bucks for a new set of leaves. This has cost me 60 bucks and fucking so far like 3 hours. But anyway, stop yabbering and I'll get this shit together hopefully in about an hour or 2, maybe? Something? I don't know, I fucking rambled on a bit too much. Alright, it's all mostly together now. Just need to do the shocks up, need to do them brackets up, and I think that's it. Throw wheels on, take it off the jack, go do skids. No, don't do skids. I've probably said this once before, but I'll say it again. Cut the U-bolts off. Leave a bit if you need to put a leaf or two back in, but just cut them off. Don't be a dickhead and have your U-bolts hanging down. It takes 5 seconds with a grinder to cut those bastards off. But if the grinder bites and you know something like that happens, just stop, change a blade. I've had this happen to me and I kept going. I thought fuck it, and it blew up on me. It wasn't fun, so bin it, put another one on, and yeah, I'm very interested to see how low it becomes, but I'll keep going.